And we are live. Welcome to the Manic Money Finance channel. I'm Money Mike. As you can see, we're still warriors again tonight. We're still warriors out here trying to make some money in a market that is just abysmal. Abysmal. This was a rough one today, guys. If anybody was watching this morning, the first thing I do when I wake up, 5 a.m., I check the markets. What are they doing? What is going on? Where's the price action? And I'll tell you what, it was bad. It was bad. So I'm not even going to bother. I'm going to just show you this thing so you can get an idea of what I saw this morning when I woke up. Boom. This right here. You see this right here? This SPY was trading at close to 6,100. The S&P 500. So the SPY ETF, when we were checking this thing out yesterday, it was 6,100. Right? Right? Talking about the week ahead. The Fed, Jerome Powell, how everything's going to go down. And wouldn't you freaking know it, they sprung it on anybody before they had a chance. Let me check audio levels. Audio levels are good. And they sprung this on people before anybody had a chance to do anything. You see this. This was 5 a.m. It was already down here to 595. See how where it opened down here at 594 at 9:30? It opened. Isn't that crazy? 9:30 open all the way down there. How did all of that money pile out of the stock market at 4 in the morning like that? Well, people, I'm here to tell you this is just the beginning of the end of quantitative easing. And people will tell you, they'll tell you the Fed, they don't own individual stocks and securities. They don't do that. The Fed, it doesn't happen. You know, the Fed will tell you themselves, hey, we don't do this. We don't buy these things. We're not going to sit here and buy a bunch of stock and keep the market afloat. That's not our job. And they might not own it directly. Cool it down. They might not do it directly, but you know what they are doing. You know what the Fed does do. They have their member banks buy these stocks. So in order to be a part of the Fed, you have to buy into the Federal Reserve, which has an effective stock price of $100 a share. The Fed Reserve itself has an effective stock price of $100 a share. And thinking, oh man, where can I buy in to that? How can I buy in? Man, Restream, your video quality is garbage. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm looking at this quality here, and it's trash, man. It's trash. You're gonna make me spend that money, aren't you? But yeah, it's a wild thing, man. Wild thing to see. So basically, they pile out, and you know what the Fed is buying? The Fed's not buying small caps like we are over here at Manic Money. Not financial advice. The Fed is buying large cap stocks. The Fed is buying the S&P 500. So when they start selling large swaths of stocks, like they did this morning before anybody woke up, 5 a.m., it was already in the gutter. Billions of market cap gone, and it has not come back yet. We might have, hit that 6,000. We're kind of limboing in that 6,000 range, but that's just hedgies. That's just hedgies buying the dip. They can't do that forever. So basically, what's going to end up happening, my boomer exit hypothesis is going to come true, right? Anywhere around 6,000, the boomers are not piling out. That's still way above where they started investing. Their average buy-in price in the S&P 500 is probably 4,000, 3,000 less. They were investing in this stuff back when they were our age. And now they're retiring and they're going to cause the next Great Depression. It's going to happen. The time frame is going to be ambiguous. But yeah, this is just insane to see. So you can see here, it basically, this is just sideways chop. And you don't even get to see the red candles that caused this because it happened so early in the morning. It's not even going to show on TradingView. You see, TradingView is only going to show you. Look at TradingView is only going to show you up till 4 o'clock, and then again at 9:30. They're only going to show you open. You're not going to see overnight volume. Save overnight volume now. You're not going to see pre-market. And you see this giant green candle at the end of the day, and it's still in open trading. It could not get back to 6,000. Yeah, couldn't get back to 6,000. Where's it going to open tomorrow? I don't know, but you never know. They might be they might sell another large swath of shares tomorrow. The member banks of the Feds. Basically, I don't know what the motivation here is. Maybe now, that Trump is president, they're thinking, okay, we got Trump trade, we got all this stuff going on. Maybe we can, we can start selling some stuff. But I tell you what, the Bitcoin leading hypothesis, it's still on. Keep that chart that we just looked at fresh in your mind and check out this chart. Check it out. Steep nosedive before we got on yesterday, 5:45 in the afternoon, and just boom. I mean, early Monday morning, we hit 97,000 range. So we lost the 103.5 support levels. I hate to say it, but it happened. There's nothing we can do about it. And now we're trying to get to trying to get back to those support levels. What was once support will now become resistance. So it's crazy. I like to stream 8-10 every day. I would say right now, reversal would probably be the other way. We're trending back up. So it'll be interesting to see, because I know the 8:30 reversal did not play out last night. Let's see, in 2030, yeah, it tried. It just formed this small set of head and shoulders, and so we did not get the reversal on a Sunday night. And in fact, this weekly candle has begun horribly. Last week of the month, as you know, the first week of the month was up. Last week of the month is down, or will probably end up being down. Who knows? But like I said, we gotta stay warriors. I gotta fight the good fight. All right. I'm gonna get this one out of the way. If anybody's wondering, the boomer exit hypothesis is basically a hypothesis that I made, that when the boomers exit the stock market, next, you need something just a little crazy, nothing too crazy. But when they exit the stock market, they are going to tank it. There's so many of them that are invested in the stock market, and they're still invested in the stock market with their retirements. They haven't jumped out. And the S&P 500 is basically viewed as a super safe, super stable place to be with its nice dividends. You start getting volatility like Bitcoin, which is what we're seeing in the S&P lately. Although Bitcoin made better gains today, back up the correction. But you start seeing this volatility, and all of a sudden, they start getting scared. Too much volatility, it'll crank down $200 in one day, and then crank back up and then crank back down again. And when you start seeing those V's and that those large price movements, man, they're jumping out. They're gonna jump out. So here's our play of the week. Still, this is not a daily chart. This is a weekly chart. That's part of the reason why I got in. This gap right here, it really needs to fill. We didn't do so good. Volume was still great, 120 mil. Average volume of 150 mil. So I guess technically that's volume falling off a little bit. So we really saw a drop today with the rest of the markets. Nothing too crazy, it's 5%. When it did drop 5%, being the stalwart, unemotional trader that I am, I bought even more. I went all in on Rhyme. DeepSeek, which is a Chinese AI, just launched today. I think that's the signal of the next China stock rampage, because these things go on a rampage sometimes, and you'll just see every day different China stock through the roof. And people try to jump in, but they're very good at keeping people out of those until basically the pump is mostly done. Then they'll let you in. You'd be lucky to make 10%. They usually pump in pre-market or post-market because they don't want people getting into that, So I figured I'd bring up Prime because, I was mentioning it the past few days now. And I know that anybody that watches the channel is going to go, oh, that one's down. Like, maybe he didn't know what he was talking about. And I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, still in, still holding strong. Don't care what anybody thinks. Not financial advice, but this is where the smart people at right here. The smart people are at here. And you look at the 6-month chart and you see this insanity. And you see what happened, after earnings. And that one not so good. This one was a downward surprise. This one was a green surprise. This is definitely the place to be. All right. But when I, when I get on and this stuff starts going nuts and the money's piling up, people are going to be sad and annoyed that they didn't follow this channel earlier. They didn't jump in on this advice earlier. Does I give it all? I just give it right out. I mean, it's not financial advice. Don't get me wrong. Just chronicling my own journey with investing. And it's out here like an open nerve. So when there's a loss, there's a loss. There's no hiding it. I talk about these stocks every day. So when I'm into something, you're gonna know. And when I lose, you're gonna know. But this is actually a great opportunity for me to go over the top 10 because in the markets were a bloodbath today. People who made money were people who buy inverse leverage and volatility ETFs. They were the money makers today. Very few things were actually up. We're gonna get into the daily charts and all this stuff. I can show you. Zomedica was slightly down, but still held its own. In the 1 month chart, it's still doing good. Hasn't fallen off much since I made the video. But the ones that I really want to show you here. BlackBerry today. Look at BlackBerry today. Hey, that's not today. Look at BlackBerry today. And this is a Head and Shoulders. And it did fall off with technical 89 cents down. But still, like this is a beautiful chart. Nothing like what you're seeing. It was up most of the day. You could have flipped for some pennies up here. You would have been all set. Let's check out another one of the top 10s here. Is it Kodak? Kodak Eastman. Oh, look at that. It really held its own. Only down 2%, you know. And the rest of the market's getting destroyed. Oh, here's one of the top 10 for you guys. Oh, would you look at that? Up 18 cents today. In fact, funny enough, if you watch the top 10 video, this thing was what, on the 12th? This thing was trading at about $1 a share. It's already up 50%. So if you were doing the top 10 video, I mean, you're actually in decent shape. You are in decent shape. Oh, here's another top 10. Intel. Oh, down 54 cents today. But since I did the video, what is that? Since I did the video, we are up about 10%. And we went even higher than that. Obviously, on the daily, this thing was going up this morning. No F's given by Intel. It was wild that it actually dropped down to me, but that might have a lot to do with Max Payne, stuff like that. Max Payne. If you don't know anything about Max Payne, I talked about that in a past video. I talked about Max Payne before. It is mostly a market maker and brokerage thing. So, all right. All right. Let's check on oil prices. Looks like China set a new record for sustaining a nuclear fusion reaction at 100 million degrees Celsius for 1,066 seconds. Dude, what the Now, this is interesting stuff right here. Oil actually ticked up slightly today, just ever so slightly, which is interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's get a bigger picture. Let's get a bigger picture of this. All right. Most energy sources ticked up, except for coal. Coal needs to go away. There should be no reason anybody's using coal nowadays. Not now that we know what we know. It's bad enough they still use leaded gas in small planes. Just ditch the coal. That's crazy, dude. Crazy. HRC steel not doing so good. Regular steel down too. That's interesting. It's kind of weird to study the relationships between commodity prices. I mean, we got bonds on this bad boy. Russian bonds are up. I mean, I don't know who's going to be buying Russian bonds, but crypto was a bloodbath. Ooh, that's crazy, dude. It's wild how many different cryptos they have on here and stuff. I'm assuming this is by market cap. So it looks like Solana has flipped Ripple. I'm assuming this is by market cap. No. Can you organize it by market cap? Here we go. Ooh, no, Ripple's third. That's insane. They do not deserve that, dude. Oh my god. It is so crazy that Ripple would have such a high market cap. I mean, even at these levels, Bitcoin has a $2 trillion market cap. What? Wild times we live in. And I mean, you can see Bitcoin to That is interesting. So, the day when Bitcoin is down versus the US dollar, it is up. In the Mexican peso, New Zealand, Japan, it is up a lot in some of these. Chinese, Canadian, Australian, Great British Pound, Euros. That's actually interesting. I've never found this chart before. Stocks. Oh, here we go.
I make like a Parmesan crusted chicken parm. Can you eat that?
Yeah, probably.
It's just the tomatoes, right? That you be an issue.
Yeah,
it's just herbs and Parmesan crusted chicken, but then it's like covered in sauce and mozzarella.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
you gonna use the chicken I got?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could use some of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll take a packet out of the freezer if you want.
Nah, you're not to worry about that.
Okay, well I'm gonna take some stuff out of the freezer to eat.
The chicken was pretty cheap.
Yeah.
It's freaking chicken.
What was it, $1.99 a pound?
I don't know. Look at the package.
Oh, okay, whatever it says.
Yeah. She was asking me a question, viewers, because I started the carnivore diet just for a couple months. I don't know if I mentioned it on stream yesterday. Just for a couple months, seeing how that goes. Should be fun. Should be tons of fun. It's a lot to get used to at first. It's rough, but once you get through the initial, adaptation phase, you start to really just feel good. Get kind of aggressive. You start wanting to sleep outside, like dig a den. No, I'm joking. Your body goes into a keto acidosis state, which is good. Just like with a keto diet, for instance, you basically can only have meats, proteins, and then some byproducts. Like you technically aren't supposed to have any soft cheeses because they mix a bunch of stuff in there. You're technically not supposed to have regular milk. So you have to get some type of lactose milk without lactose. Lactate is basically a good way to go. You might be able to have Fairlife because of the carbs, but it's just butter. You can only cook with butter. You can't cook with any kind of coconut oil, nothing like that. And your body goes into a state. I mean, I obviously cheat and I supplement. I'm going to be supplementing vitamin C. I'll be supplementing a few other things as well. What can I say? Hey, there's just certain things, that you can't get from meat. So it's like vitamin C, and my 5-hour energies. I take a 5-hour energy. I've switched away from regular energy drinks. So I'll just use the 5-hour energies in the afternoon, which is basically just some more vitamin B and some other stuff. You're disgusting. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's an interesting situation. So as I said before, the small account challenge. We made a buy in the small account challenge. We made a buy. Our first $15 from last week cleared. So so we bought this bad boy. And on the daily chart, as you can see, not much going on. Not much going on. I would actually be very curious to see what the levels of this volume actually is, right? That makes it move so much. So, I mean, I probably bought. What did I buy here? Well, I mean, I obviously bought somewhere around here. That's probably my little buy candle right there. You know, maybe it was back here. Yeah, no, that's probably down there. That little one right there. But we bought some of these warrants, as I was telling you. I am. There's no way that's a 1-day chart. Obviously, because this thing is so heavily tied to Bitcoin. It went down today. Still big old green candle. That kind of gets washed out by these red candles here. Oh, I mean, there was no surprise that it was going to be down today. And here we go. It is 8:30. I don't like the Bitstamp chart. I like the Coinbase chart. Coinbase chart does a better job predicting where the price action is going to go at the current moment. Let's get this down to the live. Let's get some 1-minute candles, shall we? Alrighty. So 8:30 is coming here. I'd say it's short term. It's kind of trending up. I mean, it's just from the day. But I mean, if you back it up enough, you see that, if you back it up to the 5-day, you'll see that while this little bit is trending up, there's a little bit right here. This to fall from here, basically, it's trending down. We're gonna see if the 8:30 p.m. reversal happens. Because if anything, it should trend up. This is a little shakeout playing out in the Asian markets right now, and it'd be wild to see if that reversal happens. Like I always say, it will. Oh. Here we go, because it's 8:29. 8:29. My clock is synchronized through the computer. Coming up on 8:30. Coming up on 8:30. There we go. There's our 8:30 candle. Head fake in the candle. And then pow. All right. Let's see if this plays out now. We're going to 101.486 now. Very nice. So not a uptick on volume. All right, we're looking at 101.5 and then a rocket through. That's what we need to see. It needs to rocket through 101.5 and stay above it. And I mean, you could watch this thing get back to the 103.5 support range by the time you wake up in the morning, as long as this keeps trending up. Boom. 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 At 8:30 p.m. reversal, man. I got to start leverage trading this Bitcoin. I'm thinking that's probably what I'm going to end up doing here eventually. I know they say you're not supposed to live trade. You're not supposed to do any kind of live trading, but it's going to be a demo trade. It's going to be paper trades, guys. I mean, we'll start with Bitcoin, hit some altcoins, but it's something I can do at this time of night. And just to kind of show you guys how I do it. But I mean, that reversal's playing out. We're up to 101.585, 101.586, 101. You know, this is child's play, man. Child's play. 101.6. I just across the 101.6. It's rocketing, absolutely rocketing. You know, this is just too easy. Too easy. I've been on 30 minutes. None of y'all are watching. Whatever. You guys will find this channel eventually. But